Okay, I guess we'll just start.
Let's go.
Hello, and welcome to the second episode of the ParkStop podcast. With me is my co-host, Ian.
Hey, kids.
Just a quick note before we get started that you can now find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, and Spotify. But on YouTube, there's extra added visuals, so if you're only listening to it, you're missing out on extra construction photos and behind-the-scenes stuff.
Don't forget those 5-star ratings. Please, they help us out.
Oh, we're already asking for ratings. Look at that, like a real podcast.
Yeah, something like that.
So before we get to the Jurassic Coaster, I thought for today's news segment, we talk about the other 6 roller coasters coming to Central Florida, because coasters are in, apparently.
People got tired of screens. Here comes 6 new coasters just to Orlando.
Yeah, well, some have screens, so it'll even out.
This first one, though, I'm excited for.
Yeah, Walt Disney World, the Tron Light Cycle Power Run. I wonder if they'll change the name, because that's kind of the original name, Tron Light Cycle Power Run.
I don't know. They kind of like those long names.
Yeah,
lately.
They like it wordy.
I'm amped for this. I've been excited for this since I first saw it, and it's cool to get some stuff from Shanghai because they seem to have some really cool ride systems over there.
Yeah, besides the Pirates ride, this was the other one I was hoping we'd get, and it's going to be, as far as I can tell, exactly the same, just plop down in Tomorrowland at Magic Kingdom, and that's good. It looks like a fun ride.
Yeah, it looks awesome. It goes pretty quick, too.
Is it 60 miles per hour top speed?
Yeah, that's what it says. That's what I hear. So hopefully it'll be really fun. Still not as fast as Test Track. And what was your other one? Your slide, Summit Plummet?
Yeah, Summit Plummet. That's technically faster than 60.
That's awesome.
There's no ride vehicle, though. You're just falling.
And if there's no water, you're burning.
I don't like slides like that. You don't feel like you really do detach from the slide. It's creepy. You're really just falling.
Oh, man. So what else are they going to do? Are they going to do anything else to the area that you know of? I know the ride's coming. I know how it looks. Obviously, the Tron, the whole Tron look is awesome.
Yeah, some people are saying that the really cool awning that changes color at night is going to be left out to save money. But I really that's half the aesthetic. That's all the aesthetic of the entire thing. So yeah. I'd be really sad if they cut that out. But no, there's already been changes to Tomorrowland. They started repainting the walls to the dismay of many. They're almost going to take away the purple wall. Instead, they just made it all futuristic.
Oh, but man.
There's been a lot of blue and silver added to the Tomorrowland already. So I think they're Troning it up, and they're taking down some stuff. The big UFO thing that was in front of Monsters, Inc. just got removed, and there's a big hole in the wall right now.
Oops.
They're going to... the Tomorrowland Speedway is closing. They're going to reroute some of that to make room for the walkway to the new coaster.
All right. We need to talk about the Speedway real quick, even though today is mostly about coasters. But I really, really, really want them to make those cars electric already. It's not futuristic to have gas and smog basically building over one area of Walt Disney World. And I would like to see some kind of theme. We were discussing before the show, like maybe Sugar Rush or maybe Tron for the kids.
Yeah, I mean, that was a rumor that it was going to be Tronified and electrified, so that there'd be like a Tron ride for the kids and a Tron ride for the grown-ups, and they kind of overlap each other, so it would all fit in the new aesthetic. It is a little weird. They redid it to make it look like a speedway, which is neither Tomorrowland nor Fantasy. It's just kind of now.
Yeah.
But I guess when Disneyland first opened, the idea of Autopia was, the highways were the future. It was something that was still being constructed, and it was going to be the future of society, but it is very much in the past now.
I don't know. I really, even as a kid, I love going on that, but I mean, there's really no need when you can just emulate the engine and the sound and just make it electric and not have to fill them with gas and deal with all the fumes. So
yeah, I hate walking by there. It stinks so bad.
Everyone I know says that. I don't know what's taking them so long to do this, but it doesn't seem, I mean, it's tied to a track too. You could just charge it as it goes.
Could be maybe a bus bar isn't safe because you can touch if you get out of your car, you can zap for kids.
Yeah, probably not the third rail for the kids. Let's not do that.
But yeah, and they're closing it for a little bit. They're going to close the train for a little bit. People are hoping while it's closed, they redo the speedway, but I don't see that happening. They're just going to cut a little section out and reroute the track.
No, I wouldn't see it happening right now either, especially after the last episode we were talking about all the cutbacks for their
Oh
bottom
yeah.
line and so on. So
Well, they need more money for the purple wall redos. You got to make the Instagrammers happy.
I still don't I know it's a thing. I just don't understand how all of a sudden everyone just wanted the purple wall and it became this thing.
I just walked by yesterday. I was walking by and there are several groups of people taking photos and doing photo shoots at this wall, and it's like an attraction. There's a line sometimes to take a photo at a wall, and they don't like the new version. They just want the solid purple. They don't like the stupid weird diamonds and stuff.
They could just find a green screen. I'll make everything purple for them if they want.
they would just take pictures in front of a green wall. They like the solid color walls. No offense to Instagrammers.
Hey, it's cool. If that's your thing, I'm not going to stop you. You get a drink and everything to go with it now.
I do like the moss wall at Pandora, I gotta say. All right, so this ride will have bike seating. For people that don't want to or can't sit on a bike, there is actually a bench in the last row of the train. Or for people whose body dimensions don't fit, there's the bench. But this ride, I think from videos I saw, there's like a lot of screen elements and stuff, but not like it's the focus. The focus is you're going fast on a bike.
Which is cool.
And has the outside loop too. So you get to go over the land a little bit. I think that's pretty neat.
That's really cool. And just for people, for perspective, it's very similar to Flight of Passage, right? The way that those work.
Yeah, because it locks in the back, I think. Very similar.
Yeah. I think it locks on your back and your legs, just like on that, to keep you from going anywhere. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what it always seemed like.
But at least it has the bench too, in case, because a lot of people are having trouble fitting their calves into the stupid Pandora ride.
Yep. I know a few people that would have that issue. But yeah, that's cool. I mean, I ride bikes, like in real bikes. So I'm kind of curious to see what this is going to feel like. But it should be fun. And just the visuals alone would be awesome to have all the lights.
And loud music from the Tron Legacy movie by Daft Punk.
Yay, Daft Punk.
It's the one place that really will fit in. I mean, it doesn't necessarily fit the aesthetic of Tomorrowland, but then again, nothing does. I mean, Buzz Lightyear and Stitch's Great Escape never really fit either. So,
oh man, yeah, they need to love that Tomorrowland a little. It's not as bad as some of the other ones, but I think I haven't seen Disneyland's, but I know a lot of people. What do they say about that one? They love that one. They don't like that one. They don't like
it's a shell of its former self. They don't even have a people mover. At least we have a people mover.
Yeah, everyone likes the Walt Disney World better. I was getting them confused for a minute in my lack of sleep state here.
I think the Paris is probably the best because they really went in on the Jules Verne aesthetic,
which is awesome to go all in. It's
timeless.
Yeah, exactly. I like the future that will never be kind of thing. I miss the waterfalls in front of the Walt Disney World one. That was a cool entryway. But
yeah, and they repainted the rocks from red to blue. I think that's part of the Tronifying. And if they bring back the spires, I think that'll go well with the style and take away some of this UFO space airport look that they got going on now.
Yeah, it's pretty cool though. I mean, the blues and everything were always classic Tomorrowland. Blues, whites, silvers. Yeah, it's amazing. I'm all for it.
Going back in time a little bit. And that ride's supposed to be opening by 2021. They announced it in 2017, and they're going to take their sweet time building it.
As usual. Unlike Universal, who's like, we're going to do this. It'll be done in a year.
Well, they won't tell you they're doing it. They'll do it, and they'll be like, hey, we've been building this for a year, and it's opening tomorrow.
I take that. I will take that over. I will happily live in rumor land until we know for sure.
Well, they announced this and the Guardians coaster and other things at D23 last year. And they announced this theater coming to Main Street, and they've already canceled that. So the problem with announcing so many things in advance before you even start building is when you go to start building it and you're like, oh, there's a sinkhole here. We can't build this. And you just quietly push that under the rug and pretend you never announced it, you know.
Yeah, also, like, again, the cutbacks. But I think we'll be able to talk about that a little bit later, too, for both parks.
Oh, moving on to Guardians of the Galaxy at Epcot.
I am so excited for this ride. So many possibilities at what this could be, and so cool. It could be
all I ever see on Twitter is people complaining about this gigantic building, and all I keep thinking is gigantic building means gigantic ride.
Yeah,
you know, people should be excited about that.
It's supposed to be the largest indoor coaster, if I remember right.
Well, they technically said one of the largest indoor coasters in the world. So I don't know if they don't know if there's something bigger and they didn't take the time to research it.
Hey, whatever.
It'll be the biggest indoor coaster in Orlando for sure.
Oh, we get to play on it, so who cares?
Yeah.
And the whole like Peter Quill in his childhood, like retro Epcot, all that stuff that brings ideas and thoughts to everybody's mind.
Yeah, well, everyone thinks we're going to be traveling through old horizons and see the Butler robot, and I'm sitting here going, yeah, it's going to be a story about Rocket Raccoon stole some batteries in space, and we're being chased, and at the end there's a dance party. Like
that would never happen. Come on.
It's the universe of energy, and I feel like they're going to keep that going, and they're going to make it about Rocket's battery thievery.
They're gonna steal batteries and go back in time, sort of be like Back to the Future.
Oh, I'd hope they go back in time. Maybe we'll travel through his mind and see Epcot when he was there in the 1980s.
Either that. I mean, it could be funny too if since he hasn't been there since the 80s to see the changes. It could really mess with his head. That would be. Funny.
It is like them to do meta things like that, like on Mission Breakout at the very top. One of the random things it says, like Rocket goes, "Hey, is that Disneyland over there?" So they're not. They're gonna reference the fact that they're in Epcot, and maybe they'll reference the fact that they don't belong at Epcot.
It could be fun. I'm looking forward to the new ride vehicle looking things they have.
Yeah, we just saw the patents for the coaster vehicle, and it's like a rotating coaster, kind of like Gringotts, but even more. It's like a souped up Gringotts coaster.
You can do all that stuff at full speed.
Yeah, exactly. You can rotate. It can tilt, which in Gringotts, to make it tilt, the actual track tilted. And this one, the actual coaster car can tilt. So it's almost like the Spider-Man vehicle, all contained in itself. Like it can tilt, it can rotate. It'll be like an Omni mover sometimes. Like it'll show you different show scenes, although there's only going to be like one scene and then the rest is coaster. But also it's powered on the actual coaster car, whereas everything else is bus bar. It gets its energy from the bar. This has a battery pack. It kind of holds the battery, and I'm going to nerd out here. The original universe of energy, when it would stop, it would charge. So like when you're watching a TV, when you're watching the big screens, it would charge the vehicle, and then you would go through the dinosaur scene using the power that it used when it was charging. So like when you're watching the screens, you would hear the vehicles go like, that was it charging. This is going to do the same thing. So every time it's stopped, it will be charging. And then when it goes, it can spin at a faster rate than Gringotts does.
That's awesome. And all I can see in my head in this is taking a big curve kind of sideways, like drifting to look at a show scene. They're like full speed, banked everything. That's what I want to feel.
And I'm feeling like there's going to be screens.
That's fine as long as there's like a show scene and it's kind of drifting sideways, full speed sideways.
Well, like the like Rock and Roller Coaster, it's going to have a load and the pre-show in the Universe of Energy building, which they completely gutted. You can see right through it now. And then it's going to launch out through like a tunnel to the giant building. And that's exactly like Rock and Roller Coaster does. I think that we might see some like just some flats, like the Hollywood sign and the palm trees on the Rock and Roller Coaster. I don't know what the story is, but maybe we're in space. But we already have a space mountain, so maybe not. But then maybe some screen elements like they're going to do on Tron, where things are, which is kind of like Test Track, actually. Like there's just stuff on a wall. Like here's some weird cube water for no reason.
I wouldn't mind seeing some of Nowhere in there. I really like that world.
Which one is Nowhere? Oh, is that the one that looks like a face?
Yeah, the head.
Yeah. No, that would be. Is that where the collector was? It's all ruined now, though, in the sequel.
Yeah, it's all destroyed. But it'd be cool to go through it. I mean, especially if we're going retro and back in time for Epcot.
Yeah, I don't know what the story is. I just know that the ride vehicle looks amazing.
I can't wait.
And that building, they're putting green and blue on the building, so it looks like a tree line at the bottom and looks like sky at the top. And it actually is blending into the sky pretty good, I have to say.
Is it that look away green or whatever? The go away green?
Yeah, go away green and the... I don't know what they're calling the blue one.
Look away blue.
Blend away blue.
I have no idea.
And that's supposed to open by 2021. Also, in the meantime, we'll get the Ratatouille ride over in France first. So I'm actually really looking forward to that too. But that's not a coaster.
I'm looking forward to any love Epcot gets right now.
That's true. I want them to bring back the old Soarin'. I'm not a fan of the new Soarin'.
Yeah, a lot of people aren't liking it, from what I gather, especially. Some of the side seating, I guess, is really bad. I haven't had the unfortunate
bent Eiffel Tower.
Yep. Exactly. We were centered last time we went on it, so I haven't had the fun of seeing everything bend.
Yeah, I always ask for, what is it, B2? Specifically sit in the very center. Well, I like the old one because it was relaxing, but they like faded between scenes. And I guess the Imagineers were like, we don't like the fades. We want it to transition more seamlessly. So now an eagle flies at your face. And it's like an eagle wipe. It's like the old Home Improvement show where they do funny wipes in between. So now you have an eagle wipe and you have a sand in your face wipe and a splash whale wipe.
Well, you don't like to be interrupted brutally with your vision there?
It's like, oh, this is beautiful. Look at all the sailboats splash. It's beautiful. Look at the mountains. Eagle. So we're going to shift gears and move on. Busch Gardens, Tampa, the place that already is all roller coasters.
Hey, whatever. Somebody's got to do it.
They're adding 2 more roller coasters because one wouldn't be enough. Yeah, a couple of years ago, 2016, they closed down Tidal Wave, which was like already a redo of an old ride that like goes through like weird natives and stuff, and then has a mini Splash Mountain fall at the end. And they closed that down, and all they've been doing with it is they turned it into a Pirates haunted house at Howlow Scream. And finally, this year, they announced that they're going to open Tigris roller coaster on that plot.
Okay, now I've seen pictures of this thing, and it is weird. I still want to go on it.
Yeah, I don't know. This might be the one I'm actually kind of frightened of. It's a little.
No, you're not.
It's a little weird. I like Cheetah Hunt. I like Cheetah Hunt a lot. I know what I'm getting into. It's got like it makes a sound effect when it launches, so it's like the cat is pouncing. It's like wow. It's got like low to the ground stuff. It's fun. This is more like a carnival ride of doom. Like, let's put all the weird stuff into one ride.
Hey, whatever. It's gonna be fun. It looks fun. It looks really weird though. You wanna take a stab at describing this?
It's called a Skyrocket 2 by Premier Rides. People that have been to any of the 6 or whatever parks that already have one know what it is. But Electric Eel at SeaWorld San Diego, Tempesto at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. It's like a loop. It's a full circuit, straight up in the air, like 150 feet. And it launches you straight up into like a little twist. But instead of going all the way around the loop, you only have enough power to just make it halfway. And then you fall backwards, back through the load station. And then when you run out of momentum, you go back through load and they launch you again, this time fast enough to go all the way through the whole coaster. And like there's a twist and a loop, and I think it's a non-inverted loop too. It's like the Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket loop, which is even more disorienting to me because you're spinning while you're looping. And then there's a barrel roll all the way at the top, 150 feet up, and then you come back down and it's over. It's so weird.
It is. It looks really strange, guys. It's like a loop with a loop on the side, and the barrel rolls at the top. It's really strange. If you haven't, I think they put them. It's on the site, right? You put it up.
Yeah, and if this is the video version you're watching, I'm showing it to you right now, so you can make sense of this nonsense.
Yeah, it's super hard to describe and help you get a picture, because before I saw a picture, I was having a hard time visualizing what this weird thing looks like. But I cannot wait to go on it.
It will be the tallest multi-launch coaster in Florida. I think it'll be the tallest launch coaster in Florida because that 150 feet tall. I mean, it's going to launch you pretty high. And then there's a barrel roll at the top.
Yeah, that seems fun. Why not?
I mean, you're all the way up 150 feet in the air. You might as well do something, you know?
Yeah, what else are you going to do up there? Just go straight? That's not fun.
But what's weird is that because you go through load and you fall backward through load and you launch through load, there can only be one coaster on the track. You can't load another one and send it on the ride like a normal roller coaster. So the lines are going to be incredibly long for this thing. Like the capacity can't be that great because you have to wait for the entire thing to finish.
So what do they say? Pack your patience,
or bring the extra $50 for quick queue. Yeah. You know what it reminds me of that I never go on at the carnivals? The loop, the coaster loop. It's just a circle. It's just you just go on it and you go vroom, 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 and you have to wait until it's done and then you load again. It's not like a regular roller coaster. It's kind of like that, except 150 feet tall and weird.
I bet it's a pretty quick ride though.
Yeah,
mean,
probably.
so I mean, it's still probably going to have some wait time to it, but it also depends on how many people get in the car. And all right, we're not doing math right now, guys. Sorry.
Not my expertise. I just know that without being able to load another one and send it on its way, you're gonna have to sit there and wait every single time. And that I gotta do it at least once. It's like Falcon's Fury. I had to do it at least once, but I don't know if it's fun enough to wait in line.
And what you do is if you go with Alicia, you let her go on the ride and you can wave at her while she goes through the load station.
Yeah,
Man,
it's a photo opportunity. Yeah.
just wait for her to go back and forth and just keep waving at her. She'll probably have a look of terror on her face.
Well, I went on Falcon's Fury, waited in line, and then I go to get, and they're like, "You can't bring your glasses." And I was like, "Oh, so I get to go 300 feet in the air and not see? Okay, sure. Thanks." As it points me down to the blurry ground below.
Hey, whatever. At least you won't know when it's coming.
That's more terrifying. So I think this is one I probably wouldn't wear glasses on either, because I don't know, I would fall off on a barrel roll 150 feet in the air.
They'll survive just fine.
Yeah, they're always fine on the Hulk. So when they announced this ride, though, they also hinted at and kind of half announced that they're finally replacing Gwazi, which has been, at first it was on and off. It's a dueling wooden roller coaster, and it was like operating only one side for like the last 8 years of its operation, and then it finally closed on 2015. The thing was rough. Like, even when they redid it and replaced the cars, and it just so rough. I would get off it and I'd be like still vibrating, and my back would be itchy from vibrating against it. It was a rough wooden coaster. And the wooden coasters are cool, and especially a dual wooden coaster. In its heyday, it was amazing, but it was rough. But it's just been sitting there, and everyone's like, "Oh, I want to ride that. I want to ride that." And it's like, no, that's not open. That's just for show now. But they teased us that it will be, or a new incarnation of it will be opening in 2020.
So are you thinking maybe just like touch it up, maybe replace the tracks, try and smooth it out a little bit, or just a whole new ride?
The rumor is that RMC is coming in and they're going to convert it into a hybrid RMC coaster. That's just a rumor, but I mean, I'm sure there's something that could be salvaged. There's 2 tracks there. And even if you kept most of the supports and retracked the actual ride, that's only half you have to do. But and people have been like saying, so it's going to be a Raptor? It's going to be a Raptor? I'm not big on all the terminology, but it's not going to be a Raptor or a T-Rex for that matter. These are actual names of coaster tracks. I looked it up. They're cute, but they're not. Everyone's like, the Jurassic ride needs to be a Raptor. And I was like, well, it will be Raptor themed, but I don't think it'll be a Raptor coaster. Is that confusing? They might name it Raptor, but it won't be a Raptor. So yeah, I think it's going to be like converted into a hybrid, which will be smoother.
I don't want to see wooden coasters go away, so hybrids are cool with me. I mean, obviously you can do way more with the steel, but still there's something about the wooden coasters that are still super fun. So even as a hybrid, I'll take it.
And I think, how many coasters will that be at that park then?
Oh, too many. They have so many. That's such a fun park for coasters.
I think 6 big coasters and then 2 little ones, because they have a Crazy Rat, and they have Scorpion that's still open, I think, which there were rumors they were going to enclose that in a building to make it like different, but I think that fell to the wayside for building something new, which is smarter.
Definitely, but that could still be a cool ride inside.
So yeah, I think they're up to 8 if you count the 2 little ones, 6 big ones.
They have lots of fun stuff at that place. I have not been there in a little while. I need to go back.
I like I still like Kumba. It opened in the 90s or whatever. That it's like their version of Hulk. Well, it was Hulk before Hulk existed. And they have Montu, which is like Dueling Dragons. And now that we don't have Dueling Dragons, we still have Montu. That makes me happy.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm good with that. Like I said, I haven't been to Busch Gardens in a few years, so it's time for me to get back. And I need to get back to SeaWorld too.
Yes. Okay. And speaking of SeaWorld.
Hey, look at that.
Nice. They supposedly have a new launched coaster on the docket for summer of 2020.
That's awesome.
Next year, 2019, they got Sesame Street opening. This year they had Infinity Falls, and 2020 they'll have a new launched coaster. Them and Busch Gardens are really pushing the new ride every year to compete with Universal and Disney, and I think it's smart.
I'm so glad to see that SeaWorld is still around. I was afraid they were going to end up closing, but to see them building is even cooler.
Yeah, I think what they do best nowadays, and knowing their core audience is they mix the sea life with the actual rides in an interesting way. Like I think Manta is a really good one because those aquariums, when you're waiting in line and you can walk through without even going on the ride, are beautiful. And it's a way to kind of, I don't want to say force, but it's a way to force people to look at the animals while they're going on a ride.
Exactly.
But it's like kind of the best of both worlds. And I think my theory on this one, because we have no idea, we have no information. I think the only thing that they confirmed that this information was true. There was a leaked image from like a slideshow that they were giving investors, and it just said on it, opening in 2020 May, around 55 miles per hour with airtime and banked turns, and it had like a mock-up photo of what the coaster might look like. But they confirmed that the leaked image was from them. It's a real image. But we don't know where it'll be. My guess is that it'll be in the Key West area, at least for loading, around where the dolphin experience is.
Maybe it'll be dolphin themed.
Right. I think that like we have a shark one now. We have a manta one now. We have a kraken. So it's time for a dolphin. And if like the Mako one was like, goes the fastest because it's the fastest shark, and and that's the fastest coaster in Florida. So maybe this one will be like a dolphin. It'll go like jump in and out of the water, up and down, up and down. But it'll be launched, which I think, did they have a launched coaster there? I don't think they do.
I don't think they do off the top of my head.
Yeah, so that'll be different for them. But my guess is it'll start in Key West and go kind of around the front edge of the park, and hopefully loop around that lighthouse at the entrance, because that would be really cool.
That'd be really cool. And I mean, obviously, dolphin's a logical step after kraken. So
yes, once you've already conquered the mythological sea creatures, you probably should take on the real ones like sharks and dolphins.
Yeah, that'd be awesome if it even if it just kind of like buzzed that tower, like the lighthouse. That'd be really cool.
It would be interesting to walk in there and have such that kinetic energy right there at the entrance.
It would be. That'd be awesome. And again, I'm really happy to see them still like not only doing okay but growing. That's awesome.
Yeah, and Infinity Falls is really fun. I don't normally like the rapids rides, but I don't like getting wet. But I wore a poncho, and it was a really fun ride.
Oh, when we get to the parks, you are not bringing a poncho unless there's rain.
They gave me a poncho. I didn't have. They gave it to me, and I felt obligated to wear it.
Nope. I'll snatch it. That's not happening. You're gonna suffer with the rest of us.
Oh, Popeye though. Popeye. It's a fun ride, but man, do they spray you.
Yeah, I will admit on Popeye, I take my socks and shoes off and stow it in the middle like everybody else when they tell you not to, and they don't seem to really try too hard to stop you from doing it. So
once it's already started, it's not like a ride you can stop.
I mean, they sit there and tell you not to do it while you're doing it, but they don't like jump in and yell at you or anything. So, hey.
Willy Wonka, no, stop, don't.
Exactly.
So speaking of Universal, one more coaster. This is number 6 on our definitely coming to Orlando and Central Florida area. We have the Potter coaster, which we talked about in the last episode, but that is another coaster and it is coming. Which
still sounds awesome, and I cannot wait for that whole thing. All the launches and the drop. That's going to be so fun.
Yeah. I mean, SeaWorld getting their first launch coaster is probably going to have one launch, and the other one having 3 launches, and the Guardians having at least 1. Like, this one has 6 launches. It's still going to be like the king of coasters here, even though it's a family coaster. I'm using air quotes, family coaster. It's an illegal all by itself. It's going to be so themed and so different.
Yep. Family coaster, 6 launches and a drop. Yep. That's totally family. I can see little kids now happy about that.
Yeah. And the spike, and you go up 4 stories and fall backwards. Like, all kids love to go on. I say that, but every time I go on like Rock and Roller Coaster or Tower of Terror, there's little tiny kids, and I'm scared, and they're like, "Yay!" So,
I was one of those. I was one of those at one point in my life.
No, I like coasters now, but I didn't actually. I think Dueling Dragons was actually the first coaster I ever went on. I went for a team member preview at the time, and I was like, "Well, I got to go on everything, so this will be my first coaster," and I loved it. So there was no reason to be chicken all my life.
Yeah, no, I think I was like 3 or 4, and the first coaster I went on was Big Thunder Mountain, and I believe I cried the whole way, pretty much. But then I started going on coasters again as I grew up, and they're fun. I still get scared on them, but that's kind of the point. So
Yeah. And there is a rumor that the Potter coaster in Illegal all by itself might be cloned. And they might get it over at Universal Studios Beijing, which isn't even open yet. They're not opening till 2020. But if you look at the leaked concept art for Hogsmeade, there is an empty section right where the coaster should go.
that'd be good for them.
And I heard someone told me they're even making duplicate of all the props and scenery. So it definitely sounds like that Beijing is going to be the only other place that's going to get this coaster.
That's cool. I need to get over there. I need to do a little tour.
And the 7th coaster possibly coming to Central Florida is the Jurassic Coaster.
Which seems cool so far, and I am excited for, and I hope it shows up.
Yes. But disclaimer, all of this is still early, and a lot of it is rumored. But the rumor is that this unused piece of land over at the Triceratops encounter may be replaced with a coaster, which is awesome because it was just abandoned for like the last 8 years.
Yeah, far too long.
Yeah, for those of you who didn't know, Triceratops encounter was like a walkthrough attraction when the park first opened, and essentially the queue was just walking through different little animal enclosures and stuff. There was nothing there to see except for some, like, here's some hay that we feed the animals, and here's some empty cages that we use to capture the animals. But then you would go into one of the barns and they have a full-scale animatronic Triceratops.
That was pretty cool. And looked like it was breathing and everything else.
Yeah, and it was getting a medical checkup, because when I'm exploring dinosaurs on a theme park, I want to see their medical checkups.
Yeah, you want to see them. You want to see them drugged and half asleep. That's exactly what you want to see a dinosaur do.
And it does sneeze at one point, because that's something from Jurassic Park, I guess. Dinosaurs sneeze. The dinosaur was sick in Jurassic Park, so I guess this one's got to be sick. But they let you pet it, and it felt like really cool, and you could see it breathing, and it had limited motion, but one of its legs would kind of rock back and forth, but its head was really fully mobile.
But again, like every kid wants to do, you want to see a dinosaur, you want to see it sick and partially tranquilized,
because sneezing on you.
Exactly. That's exactly what people want to see at a theme park.
This is how bird flu got spread. Not.
Look, if I want to get sneezed on, I got 2 dogs, so.
So, as cool as it was, these things cost millions of dollars each, and they're exposed to the humidity and elements because they're in these open air barns. And people were like, when they take surveys after they go through the rides, they would rate it really low because they thought it was a ride, or they're like, nah, it was nothing, or I'll only do that once. So it just wasn't worth the millions of dollars upkeep to keep these Triceratops there. And it went seasonal, and then it closed. It closed from 2003 all the way to 2010, and then it like opened again just for 2 years, and only seasonally. And it's like, you kept these dinosaurs and you refurbished them just to close them 2 years later? Really?
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, I mean, I got excited and I was like, yay, it's back open. And then I was like, oh yeah, this is boring.
But on the bright side, now you can buy a pooper scooper for $300.
So over the summer, I'm hearing rumors. People are telling me that there's activity in the Triceratops encounter. There's activity. They removed some water fountains. They cleared out storage out of one of the barns. They were just using it for storage. And then we saw all these props show up. There's a prop shop at Universal Studios Florida where they sell old things from the rides that they no longer need. And it's like you could own a piece of the ride. And they have stuff from like Jaws, and they had stuff from Earthquake. And now they have stuff from the Triceratops encounter, and they have a poop scoop shovel. That's what they called it on the tag, poop scoop shovel. And I just checked. It's still there. It's been there for like 5-6 months now. No one wants to buy the poop scooper. I don't know why.
It's a $300 snow shovel.
It's only $300. Yeah, but it comes with that backing and that rope. Which is not a usable rope. It is glued in that formation. But they had these also Dino Chow bags, which it's so funny to me that not only is there bags of Dino Chow, but they're printed Dino Chow on there. Like they have their own pet food manufacturing plant for Jurassic Park, that instead of just like having a handwritten thing, it's like, no, this is Dino Chow trademark. I asked though, apparently they had 3 of those, so it's not the same one. They just keep putting more out.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Two people have paid $300 for an empty bag that says Dino Chow.
From the makers of Puppy Chow.
But they had some other cool stuff like pieces of electric fence and other cool things. And with the rumors of things going on, like hearing that things were going on in the Triceratops encounter, I investigated and we found some permits that said they were doing demolition. They were actually going to demolish all of the barns. There were multiple barns. You know, when you're waiting in line, you like they'd split you up, kind of like the meet and greets where they have multiple Anna and Elsas. So the line goes back there. They have oh, I'm sorry if I just ruined the magic for you. There's multiple Anna and Elsas.
Spoiler.
There's multiple Triceratopses. So there's 3 barns total. Although I think there was only ever 2 working Triceratopses. And they were going to demolish them in June. And they installed a new backstage gate right behind the Raptor encounter, which was recently, in the last few years, only added right to the entrance of the Triceratops encounter. So it kind of used a little bit of that plot, but very small of it, like 5% of that plot. So this new backstage gate was installed so that the team members could get to the Raptor encounter and other areas when the normal entrance, which is down by the Discovery Center, was blocked, because that's where they were putting the tractors in and out to do the demolition. Then we saw work walls go up. A wooden wall went up, blocking the Raptor encounter from the queue to the Triceratops, and then green canvas temporary walls went up around where the demolition was going to start. So all this is going on, and then I finally start to hear the rumors, the murmurs that it's going to be a coaster. And my first thought goes, well, maybe they'll extend the Camp Jurassic area and build the Amber Mine coaster that they rumored to build years ago. And this would have been a family wooden coaster that goes through an amber mine. That was one of the many plans that was going to go where the Skull Island ended up going.
Yeah, I mean, that could be cool though, like an amber mine coaster, but it's not what I think the area needs more of. I mean, they already have a ride that you need to have a kid to get on. So
yeah, it would have been a lower not a kiddie coaster, but like a little bit more exciting than Flight of Hippogriff.
That's what I'm saying. It needs to be less family, I think. I think it needs to be a little more thrill ride in that area. I mean, the river adventure is pretty cool. It's a little short in my opinion, but the drop is amazing. I think they could use a little bit more of that, and something a little more extreme would be a little more kinetic in that area too. Yeah. In a place, it's got so many trees and it's a beautiful area, but it'd be cool to see more movement.
Now, of course, I thought wooden family coaster, and other people hear wooden and they're like, "Oh, it's going to be an RMC. It's going to be a Raptor." No, say. Other people were like, maybe Gravity Group is going to do it. They do some great hybrid wooden coasters that fit in small areas. But then when I saw what the permitted area for this ride was going to be, it's not just the Triceratops encounter. It goes out in front of the waterfront, all the way in front of the Discovery Center, all the way to the bridge, the team member bridge, and then all the way back. And okay, this is not a kiddie or a family coaster. This is a coaster. So after investigating a little bit more, it looks like it's going to be another Intamin launched coaster. At least that's what everyone's telling me now. Some people think it's going to be a Mack coaster, but either way, it's not a family coaster. We're talking something intense.
Yeah, and both those companies make really good rides.
I mean, the Potter coaster is an Intamin launched, so people don't believe me. I made that video, and everyone's like, "You are talking crazy talk," and I'm like, "I am just repeating what people told me."
Seriously though, either one of those, Intamin or Mack, they both make awesome rides. So yeah, whatever, bring it.
Yeah, I think the idea here is that they know what kind of coaster they want, and if they can get a 2-for-1 special ordering from the same people as the Potter coaster, then they're going to go for it. It's whoever can build what they have in mind. So to make this happen, there are some logistical things that must change, and one of them is they're going to need to move the Raptor encounter. So I'm keeping my eye out. The Raptor encounter is rumored to move pretty much across the path to near the Pizza Predatoria restaurant. Mm-hmm. Like sandwiched in between the river adventure and the pizza restaurant, but right in between there's all these games. So keeping my eye out, and I found some red survey flags. So there's definitely they're preparing for some movement over there, and I think they're going to move 2 or more of the games, maybe across the path to make way for an entrance to the Raptor encounter, and they're going to use an extended part of the queue for River Adventure as the queue for Raptor. When they opened the Raptor encounter, I don't think they knew how popular it was going to be because there's not enough room for queue in there. The line backs up all the way out into the path.
Yeah, I think they should have known because everybody loves the Raptors, and then especially bringing in Blue later on after that.
So that line gets long. Although a team member has to have to walk through the line, and they're like, "You realize this is not the ride. This is just to meet the Raptor." And like 2 or 3 people always get out of the like, "Oh, okay. I just saw a long ride." So by putting it next to the ride, it'll be like, "Here's the entrance for the ride. Here's the entrance for the Raptor." And as people are entering, they're like, "Raptor to your right, ride to your left, Raptor to your right, ride to your left." I think it's easier so that people know what line they're getting into. And also,
Now, do you think?
back up.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's it. I just went back up into the path.
I was just going to say, do you think that's going to be permanent? You think they're going to move it back? What do you think
I
the plan
thought
is for the Raptor?
I thought with all this work they're doing and how much effort they're putting into it, it was going to be permanent, but a lot of people think it's going to be temporary because they think the new roller coaster is going to be based on Raptors. That then entrance to the new coaster will have the Raptor encounter as kind of like the like a barker is like it's like normally there's a barker out front of an attraction at a carnival or whatever, like come right up, step right up. Well, instead they have a Raptor like rah, 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 and get people to come into the ride. Well, that way they would have, here's the coaster to your right and here's the Raptor to your left. But that way you can see the Raptor encounter while you're waiting in line. And I think that's kind of cool. I like that idea.
That is pretty cool. I was just thinking space-wise, though, it might be cool to keep the Raptors moved over by the River Adventure, but also being able to see them standing in a queue just to give you something to look at. That's pretty fun, too.
I think it'll be part of the theming to kind of have like the stables there.
All right. So we know it's going to be Intamin or Mac both do like launch coasters. Mm-hmm. You're thinking launch. What kind of coasters that exist are you thinking this is going to be like?
I'm thinking Tron at Phantasialand in Germany, which I had not heard of before until it was mentioned to me as something that may be the inspiration for this. And looking at the video and reading up on it, it's the fastest multi-launch coaster in the world. It is the longest multi-launched coaster in the world. And if this is the inspiration or something that they're looking at to kind of duplicate as an idea for this coaster, we're talking 4,600 feet of coaster. The Hulk is 3,800 for comparison.
That's insanely awesome, as long as it's not big open gaps of nothingness.
Well, and
that's a long time to be on a ride with trees.
Well, and the Terran ride, what's cool about it is it's all intersecting with itself. It crosses over itself 58 times. So that means on the ride, you interact with yourself 116 times.
That's awesome.
So, and it's in a small space. Like people are like, well, this Triceratops encounter is such a small space. You can't fit a good ride there. You could fit all of Terran inside the Triceratops encounter with barely any overlap. And there's still the part in front of the Discovery Center that they're going to launch out into.
That's pretty cool.
This would be, longer than that even.
That's really cool. And I've seen ride videos of Terran, and I've also seen that their ride vehicles are a little weird.
Yeah, they remind me of they kind of remind me of Cheetah Hunt. That's my comparison because that's one I've been on before. But it has open sides. It's not like floorless or anything. It still has a floor, but it doesn't have walls.
Yeah, you just get a lap bar or something.
Because this is going to be more intense. See, what I'm thinking is they closed Dragon Challenge and they opened up the more family version of a new ride over at Potter. They're going to open that up next year in 2019. This will be the more intense one. I think this is kind of for those people. They're like, you closed down one of the best, roller coasters in Central Florida to build a family coaster. What about people that want to come to the park for thrills? And I think this is the answer to that. So Dragon Challenge was technically 2 coasters, and now they're building 2 new coasters to replace it.
Yeah, that's fine with me. They both sound fun too. Hopefully we see them both sooner than later.
If this goes anything like Terran, that one goes up to 73 miles per hour. Fastest multi-launch in the world. And maybe they want to break that record. Maybe this is something they want to advertise as fastest, whatever. The Hulk goes 67 at its fastest point.
That'd be cool. I'll take a 70-mile-an-hour coaster or more. That'd be really fun.
And like when we were talking about the Potter coaster, the Hulk only has the one launch, and then all momentum is built on that. And this one, I think we're looking at 2 or 3 launches. So It's going to do a lot of overlapping and fun stuff in the Triceratops encounter area, but then it's going to go out over the water or in front of the water and I think launch again for just like a straightaway.
Oh, that sounds awesome. I would love to see something. I think they should use that waterfront a little more at Islands. It would make me very happy. I'm excited to see what this coaster looks like when it's all said and done.
I know some people would love to see a mosasaur jump out of the water when you get down there.
Oh, that would be too cool. That would be one large animatronic, though.
It would, but I don't know if they're gonna go that route, but that would be pretty neat.
That would be very cool.
So I didn't mention before, but I did find survey markings in front of the Discovery Center all along where it looks like the coaster is gonna go. So, and that was back in the summer. So they've been doing research on this for a little while. I think that the coaster itself is gonna go down the lower part of the waterfront area,
Yeah.
and maybe they'll keep it really low, like right to the ground low, so it doesn't ruin the view of the Discovery Center from across the way too much. We'll definitely see the coaster up really tall, like 100 and something feet on the left and maybe medium tall on the right, but in the middle, I'm hoping it's gonna swoop down really low ground level for that second launch. Um
Yeah, I've heard people concerned about even the view from the inside of the Discovery Center out. So I'm hoping they take that
Oh,
into
no,
account
yeah.
too.
I think that'll be good. Well, if you're looking out of the Discovery Center, you're on the second floor already, so I'm imagining it below that level for sure.
Or even just below so you can see the people go by. That'd
Oh,
be
you
cool.
see if you look down, yeah, but you'll still be able to see out clear to look at the Hulk across the water. I think it's gonna go really fast in front of the Discovery Center, and then it's gonna have a full loop over. I didn't really talk about the layout yet in my video, but it looks like it's gonna go out in front of the Discovery Center to the if you're looking straight at it, Discovery Center, it's gonna go to the right of it and make like a full circle. So I'm guessing it's gonna go up higher, make a full circle, and then come back down again to return, give it some momentum returning.
That's pretty cool.
So you'll see a little bit of height on the right and a lot of height on the left, but you have to imagine J.K. Rowling would not approve of anything that's going to be visible from inside Hogsmeade. So if
Exactly.
you're standing in Hogsmeade or you're looking at the castle, they don't want to see a 200-foot coaster on your left. So I think it's going to be around Hulk height, maybe a little taller depending on how far away it is. So the farther you go away, the more towards Skull Island, I think the taller it'll be. And then the more closer to Harry Potter, I think the shorter it'll be.
That's cool. That sounds good to me. What do we think the chances of this actually happening are, since it's still a rumor?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. A it's been put off a year, and this is what people are saying. It's been delayed a year, but it's still happening. And I always ask that. I'm like, "Oh, it's been delayed, but it's still happening, right?" Yes, it's still happening. So, like if you see the Raptor encounter move, and I just was just there yesterday or day before, and I saw it looks like they're moving the face painting away from the Triceratops area over toward the Thunder Falls restaurant. 'Cause
Hmm.
I don't know if it's face painting, but they built a new, little roof pagoda there. It looks just like the face painting one, so it looks like the logistics, they're still moving things around, even though they haven't actually demolished the entire Triceratops area yet.
That's awesome. I really think that having a coaster like this in that area would be awesome. I really think it could use a little more energy. It's one of my favorite areas just to look around in with all the trees and everything, and even the pteranodon flyers up in the tops of the trees. I think it's a really really cool area. So I think more energy in there would be awesome.
Yeah, and to anyone that's thinking like, "Well, I'd much rather have an indoor ride or I'd much rather have this," I don't think like, a coaster is better than nothing. And it kinda makes this park the thrill ride park, really, with, 3 coasters and 3 water rides. It definitely feels like Islands Adventure. It's like their version of the thrill ride, and kinda to compete with SeaWorld and Busch Gardens, which is all coasters.
Yeah, and again, like I said, that area alone really needs some more love. It seems walking through there, just the way the paths are, it feels so big in there. Anything down by that water, they haven't done anything since they closed those boats down that I know of out there.
I took some pictures over there. It just looks like a hurricane hit that walkway over there, and it looks like nature's taken over the dock. It's all just, like, old and decrepit and broken wood pieces.
Oh, that's
That's where
sad.
the ride will loop around. It'll kinda go to there because they built this bridge when they were building, Harry Potter, when they're building Hogsmeade, they built this bypass bridge for people to go from Lost Continent to Jurassic Park without walking through the construction zone. And now they
Hmm.
only open it if they're really busy or team members use it. And it looks like the coaster is going to go over that bridge. So, like, as far as it can go before you hit Harry Potter, really.
That's cool. Now with all this going on, and there's talk in what, California, they're gonna redo the Jurassic Park ride
Yeah,
to
that closed,
Jurassic
I think
World.
it was September. Closed just a month or so ago, 2 months ago. Yeah, and they already took out all the dinosaurs and they're building a new structure behind the gate. Like that ride is going to be completely different by the time they're done. But the original rumor I reported was that ours was going to close. Our river adventure was going to close and turn into Jurassic World. But I put out that video, and that day is when Universal announced that the Jurassic Park ride in Hollywood was closing, and everyone's like, "No, it's not Orlando, it's Hollywood." And I'm like, "I didn't know that. I I heard the rumor." And they announced it like an hour after I uploaded the video. There's still a chance ours will change. I just think it's one of the things that's been put off. They don't want to close a ride when they already have, because Dragon Challenge has been closed and they still haven't opened the new one. So maybe when they open the Potter coaster, maybe then they'll think about closing our Jurassic Park ride, turn it into Jurassic World.
I've been thinking that they're gonna just keep it in Jurassic World to be in the new park that they haven't announced yet. That's
Yeah,
what I'm kind of hoping too, because I think leaving one as Jurassic Park and the other as Jurassic World is kind of a cool idea. I do think they need to give some of those dinosaur animatronics some love on
yeah.
that river adventure, but
It will be closing in January, I think, for its month-long yearly rehab. And they usually repaint some of the dinosaurs and give it some love, but they don't fix the animatronics as much as they really should.
yeah, that's what needs to be done. I think more than anything, while they have it down, they should just fix this stuff. I mean, it's a cool ride. I like it. It's just it's short, so you should at least make sure the stuff that's on there is working, because there's not a whole ton, a lot, like there's not a lot to see, but
I am all for them doing Jurassic World at the new park and keeping this Jurassic Park, especially because Jurassic Park's my favorite movie. But also, I think a gyrosphere ride would be really cool. And if they have an idea for a gyrosphere ride and they want to put that in the new park and keep this one, I probably would rather that than just retheming the river adventure.
yeah, that's part of mine too. I mean, I would like to see both the I guess the same franchise with the two versions of them separate. I'd like to see them both, but the first Jurassic World, whether you like the movie or not, the way they envision the theme park itself is pretty amazing. And if they could incorporate that somehow into the land, that'd be really cool to see, even
I
some of
don't
the
know.
rides.
If they added a monorail to City Walk, it would just be the land. It would be Main Street from Jurassic World. They
Pretty
they
much, it's pretty close.
they
But
already
I
have
mean,
the other IMAX. Well, it used to be an IMAX theater. There was they got Margaritaville. They got half the things that are in that movie.
yeah, but I'm talking to, like, they stood in the tree. It was themed like a fallen tree to watch the
Yeah, that was
T-Rex eat
cool.
stuff. There's some cool stuff in there. Like,
There is. Can you imagine that in the queue for a gyrosphere ride?
that's what I'm saying. If they could just take some of that stuff from the fully envisioned theme park for the movie and just like build it out in a new land, it'd be really cool.
Yeah, I could see them making like one big massive ride that has stuff in the queue as a Jurassic World thing, and then keeping the Jurassic Park things in the separate park as their land.
Yeah.
And that way you don't have two lands so much. You just have a ride in one and a land in the other. I think the new Beijing park is getting a Jurassic World land.
That's
So
awesome.
look to them to see what rides they get, and maybe we'll get that at the fourth park.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be watching that, especially since they're still working on it. So who knows what's gonna show up?
Who knows if our Jurassic Park is going to turn into Jurassic World or not here in Orlando? Maybe not.
I'm
And
hoping not.
just because this new coaster is going to go in front of the Discovery Center, a lot of people seem to think they're going to put the queue in there, but I don't know if you've actually looked or measured. It is a tiny space on that first floor of Discovery Center. There's room for a queue in there. All the spaces on the second floor for the restaurant. There is barely nothing down there.
Yeah,
It's possible they're going to redo some of the exhibits down there, except for
that'd be good.
the hatchery, because that one's actually popular. But the other stuff is really locked in the 90s.
Yeah. Yeah, and that building's cool anyway. Hopefully they just leave it and do nothing but update stuff like you're saying right there. It's a cool place to go in. I haven't been inside in a while. It's kind of
Good.
like, you know, because nothing's really updated. So
Yeah, the dinosaur bones are from the movie. The The ones hanging in the middle of the rotunda are actually the ones from Jurassic Park.
That makes it even cooler. They should definitely leave it alone.
Yeah. So even if you change out the exhibits, don't change the center because that's very iconic.
But feel free to build a building for the roller coaster queue because nobody wants to stand outside.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of, if it's going to be raptor themed, some people are thinking there's going to be one show scene either at the beginning or the end. And I've already said, like, even if you don't theme the whole land as Jurassic World, I still think we can have trained raptors because, I mean, they have Blue meeting and greeting down there. And they always have a raptor trainer. It actually says trainer on his shirt. So they've kept, even though they kept it Jurassic Park, it's still kind of got some of the through line from Jurassic World that they're training raptors here at Islands of Adventure. I think they should have the stables from Jurassic World with the raptors, and like they open and the raptors run out as the beginning of the ride. And like Cheetah Hunt, where you're the cheetah, I think we should be the raptor and we launch out with the raptors.
That's fine with me. That sounds fun. Even if not, though, if they want to stick to Jurassic Park, we could be in a cage and just get loose.
Yeah, there you go.
It'll work the same.
Yeah, so it's a pack of raptor pack. There you go. We just named the coaster.
Is it going to be anything like Hagrid's? What was it? What did I say? Hagrid's Forest Friend Roundup.
Yes. So, yeah, and I think I love Cheetah Hunt. I don't know if I mentioned that before. But just like Cheetah Hunt, Mako, maybe a dolphin-based roller coaster at SeaWorld, you know, where you are the animal. I think that this could be that you are the raptor, and that would be a good way to do it. That way, you know, close calls with trees and going left and right and stuff really fast. It takes on a new meaning if we're the raptors running through the woods.
Yeah, it's actually part of the story instead of just awesome theming and then trees.
Exactly. And then the cool sound effects. Like even the Hulk has a roar when it launches.
Yeah, that's so cool that they do that.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be thrilling. It might have inversions, maybe the Heartline roll from Cheetah Hunt, maybe a couple loops, who knows? Or it could just be like Terran and really just get all of its excitement from close calls with running into other pieces of track.
I'm down for it as long as it's fun and fast.
Yeah, and I'm crossing my fingers. Like, let's beat that record. Let's beat 73 miles per hour.
Yeah, we can hit 75. Why not? We got a like nice long straightaway down to the water too.
Wait, and what was test track?
65.
Oh, okay, Hulk is already beating that by 2, so we just got to beat the Hulk. Got to beat 67.
Yes. 65 in a car in a circle, and it's still fun for some reason.
It'll be weird though. They'll have like a Tron track in the same in Walt Disney World, right when they have a Tron coaster, because that test track 2.0 is Tron. Let's be honest.
It is, but we won't tell anybody.
Oh, and speaking of Jurassic World and Jurassic Park, in different parks at the same resort, I will point out that Toy Story has a ride in Magic Kingdom and a land in Hollywood Studios.
Yeah,
and
we can change
their
that.
signature rides are shooting dark rides for some reason, interactive dark rides that you shoot. So no one seems to complain that, like, hey, wait a minute, there's already a land in this other park. All right, well, before we sign off, Kowalski's Bakery, bring it to the parks. We're waiting still.
Oh, they would make so much money. They should put it right at the front. Right at the front.
They have a bakery in the front of all the parks. They should just replace them all with Kowalski's.
That'd be awesome. You know, every kid would be dragging their parents over to get one of those animal creature-shaped, beastly-shaped things. Every kid.
No, they're selling all the wands at the parks right now, and they have some of the creatures, but
they're not edible pastries.
He's the best part of the movies, and that is the best part of the first movie. So
the bakery.
I'm gonna wrap up every episode with this. So
until it happens, that's your goal.
Someone will hear it and they will listen. Fourth Park. That's where I'm holding out. Fourth Park. All right, that's gonna do it for our second episode of the ParkStop podcast. Do check us out on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, and leave a review, rate, and be sure to check it out on YouTube for extra stuff.
See you next time, guys. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.